Greetings Nerf fans, Sharky here. Now, as the observant of you will no doubt notice, I'm not where I normally film. I'm not at home, I'm actually over in Norwich. And today I went into Tesco's Extra in Norwich. And from the title of this video, you'll probably realise what I found. So what I'm going to do now is go through and do a quick unboxing. I don't have a chrono here. I don't have my Fenland Nerfworks shirt here, but I do have a purple shirt, so get in there. I don't have my normal knife for unboxing things. Hopefully you'll find this interesting. I don't know how many people have actually had these in their hands. I know that Big Al at Monkeytron has got one. I don't know who else has got them. I don't know how soon things are going up, so I thought I'd get this up so that we can inform you, the community, about this blaster and what we found and all the rest of it. Okay, so here it is, the Nerf Alpha Strike Hammerstorm, the first of the Alpha Strike line that appears to have a decent hand grip. We'll see how that is when we actually get it out of the packaging. Why it's been launched in the UK first, I don't know. Also, it does not have double the darts like everything else. It's an 8-shot cylinder, but it only comes with 8 shots. So giving you the rundown, obviously the Hammer Prime. Okay, on the back. So you can see here in the middle it shows that it's got dart storage in here. Personally, I'm probably going to end up cutting it off across this line across here to get rid of a lot of weight and make it more holsterable. But what I do like is that it's got an end stroke barrel lug, and we'll see how that works and how loose stroke tighter fit that is in a second. So unlike a lot of these others, there's nothing on the back showing any of the other blasters in the line, which I also think is quite interesting. Yeah, right. Right, let's see how I can do here and see if I can manage not to cut myself getting out of the packaging. It looks like they've switched across to these elasticated things, so we will use a Stanley safety knife to slide that in and cut the 3 of those. Take that out. In the box, paperwork is in the back here, darts will be in here. Trying to do this one-handed is not exactly easy. Ta-da! Let's see how this looks. So that's the darts. And the instructions. Right, so that's the cardboard out the way. And no pictures, lots and lots of stuff in different languages. Sorry for the switching angles, I hope I'm not making anybody dizzy. And that's the blaster released from its packaging. Of course, no painted deco on the offside, and the standard yellow Alpha Strike Nerf rounds. So, looking at the features of the blaster, we've got a tactical rail on the bottom, tactical rail on the top. Got the end strike lug on the front. The dart holding in the side, which, depending on whether you're left-handed or right-handed, which side you push them through from or pull them through from. Handguard. Seems to have quite a large gap at the top. And also the rotation seems a little bit clunky. We'll have a look inside on it. The grip doesn't seem too bad. Sorry for my dodgy nail, I broke that earlier. So this could make quite a nice steampunk blaster or something like that. I'm certainly going to use mine for LARP, so that's that. I have got a barrel, so we can just literally slide that on, which gives us even more weight on the front. But it doesn't seem too wobbly. It looks like loading is going to be fairly easy because it seems to be access all the way around the cylinder, so you can actually load pretty much every one apart from the one that's actually there, and and we'll see how it fires afterwards. In that, does it fire then revolve the cylinder, or does it revolve the cylinder and fire? Push the darts back. Finish loading this side. To some extent, this seems to be crying out to have brass barrel done to it, to extend the brass barrels up into here, which may help with performance. Let's switch that round one. Right, so that's all 8 darts loaded. I'm going to use the box as a target. That seems to definitely got some pop. Right, so looking at that, cocking it brings the next chamber round. So that all looks very, very useful. Excellent. So, because I am not Drac and I do not have vampire speed to undo this, I've actually gone around and undone the screws already. Also, beware, there is a sneaky one hidden up here, which I missed. Okay. I've left them all in. Interestingly enough, all of the screws, instead of being round-headed, are actually flat-topped, which is something that I think is worth noting. And as this is probably the first in the Alpha Strike line that's got that, so ta-da. Also, case in point, you do not have to undo these 2 screws here to take that out. Okay, so as per standard, like the hammer shot, we've got the spring in the grip, although this it seems to be fully encased, which is different to what we've seen previously on both the double strike and the hammer shot and the Sweet Revenge. Sorry for the beeps. I'm sending the bits of this video to Keldon, who is lacing them together so we can get this up to you as quickly as possible. Interesting way that they've attached the plunger tube here. I thought that's quite an interesting. I've not seen that before. Don't know whether this is solvent welded, but we should be able to access it from the rear, so there should be no reason to. Looks like the whole mech will lift out. I'm not going to do that because there's no real point in doing that. And then obviously you've got your 8-shot cylinder. Looking at this, for minimisation's sake, there's a nice little shell line here. So cutting along that shell line will give you a nice sealed thing all the way, and a straight shot pretty much all the way across to here. It looks like you could quite easily cut the front under here and back to here if you so wanted to give it a bit more access and also minimise it even further. You would then have to include some of the shell here to get around this dart post and this lock point here. But if we try and look top down without too much shadow, that is above the line of this. So if you take the straight line across there to there, you'd be fine. If you wanted to make it look more like the Desolator front end. So I've buttoned it all back together again, and I passed it to Mia to let her have a look at it because I have rather large hands, and for me, while maintaining the grip, cocking that is not an issue. Unfortunately, for those with more normal size hands, it will be. You'll need to fully sort of more release the grip because it's quite a long distance up the back there to that cock point. Still got a dart in it. So yeah, that draw is quite a long point, and to get up there for most people is going to be difficult. Also, interesting point that I noticed as I was buttoning it back together, we've got a sling point here and a sling point here. Now, don't know why you would attach a sling there. Yes, sling point here, normal sling point or lanyard mount, fine. Useful things for these, if we've got any rival team colours, so the red and blue coloured ribbons that come with the rival blasters, attaching those there would actually be quite an interesting thing. There's also a sling point lug up the top there. So overall, the Alpha Strike Hammerstorm is, in my opinion, as I said when Team Tropicana Nerf broke the news first on their Instagram, and I said, oh look, it seems to be the blaster that's going to save the Alpha Strike line. I think this will get bought quite a bit because it's £15. So what that is in US dollars, I'm not quite sure, but I'm sure somebody can plug that into that and do a conversion for me. And Kel will probably put it on a little piece of annotation across the bottom of the screen if I'm really lucky. A lot of people are going to buy it for modding it for steampunk. They're going to mod it for LARP. As far as performance, well, I don't have a chrono, so I can't do that. So I'm going to leave that to those that do have those close to hand. But I wanted to give you the first report and get this to you, our loyal viewers, as quickly as I possibly could. The 8-shot cylinder seems to work really well. Why they've extended it so far in front, I don't know, but it doesn't mean that loading is easier. So, pros and cons. The front barrel, well, the barrel lug is going to be proved quite useful because, hey, if I'd got my chrono barrel, I could stick that on it and that would give me a fuzzy number, as opposed to a real chrono. We're working about 10 FPS out as per one of our other videos. If you look back in the past, I'm sure Kel can possibly link that to show one of our previous videos where we did a review of the chrono barrel against the Saturnus and against a F1 shooting chrono. What would I run on here? Well, I'd probably either run one of our own Fenland Nerf Works FN007 short faux suppressor barrels, which has got rifling inside it to make it look like a silencer. Or if I've still got one somewhere, I think I've still got one of the original yellow first generation Nerf Spectre barrels, which would look pretty cool on the front here. I'm sure that this is going to get all sorts of modifications done. Minimisation is going to be one of the things that I think is going to happen. I don't see too many people wanting to, unless they're going to build it up into a rifle build. But yeah, so here you go. That's the first look from us at the Nerf Alpha Strike Hammerstorm. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. It's important to us. It gets us some coverage, and it gets more people looking at what we're doing here, and hopefully we can continue to bring what you want to see to you. So, Sharky out. See you soon.